So the next thing I put together was this necklace here, and not sure how I'm going to finish it off yet, but at least I have something put together here. So far what I'm working on is I'm just working with the, I threw the wood beads in here, but I'm mostly working with the Bohemian Party right now. And I didn't grab my strand and pull the strand out. So I just thought I would put something together here. So I do have, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna use some of this coin chain, and then I'm gonna string these beads up, and I'm going to use the citrine color, and it is medium soft flex beading wire, and so it's the 0.019 and 49 strand. And I'm gonna go ahead and string that all together, and I am going to use this magnetic clasp. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and I'm going to use some crimps, some gold crimps here. I bought some of these crimp tubes from Soft Flex Company, and I think I saw Jessie James Beads now has them on their website as well. And so I bought these crimp tubes, and I bought them in a pack where it had 3 colors. I think it was 3 colors. I think it was gold, silver, and maybe the copper. I can't remember. I know that there's 3 little packets of 20, and if you buy them in the variety pack, they're a little bit less than if you were to buy them separately. And I love working with this, with the soft flex beading wire, and with these crimps that they have, the 2x2 crimps that are seamless, and they also form a bead when you use the magic crimper to crimp them with. So I'm going to go ahead and string that on. This is going to be about 7 inches, and so if you add, it's probably going to end up being probably about 7.5 inches, which is probably a little bit snug for me, but it can be worn for someone else in my family or my friends. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off and cut some off here. And I think what I'm gonna do is I was going to just string it directly onto this here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead and grab one of my crimpers. And let's go ahead and it'll be very important for us to get this all laid out correctly so they don't cross, as far as the strands don't cross, and then can move around a little bit. So I don't want this to be too snug on here because I want it to be able to move around. I also don't want my beading wires to cross over, so I want to keep them nice and free as well. So I'm going to go ahead and come in with this magic crimper, and when you give it a little squeeze there, it comes out looking like a little square. And so then you just come in and give it another squeeze. Then what I do is roll it around, and I believe I heard Soft Flex, it might have been Kristen that had mentioned that she had heard you just need to go around probably like 5-6 times. Their vendor for these, and there you go. And so then you don't even need a bead cap. So then I'm going to come in and give it a little snip. and I'll start stringing. So I went ahead and finished this off, and what I did was just crimp the other side, and let me see if I can get this. And then what I did was I added the chain, and I just used a thin jump ring on the side. Made sure that it wasn't twisted, though you can twist it. If you want to twist it to intertwine, you can, but I went ahead and just kept this. I just made sure that when I was attaching each side to each side, that I wasn't getting all twisted. So what I do is I just hold it up. Let me come out a little bit. And so what I do is I just hold it straight up and make sure that nothing's all twisted. It looks like it picked up all my jump rings. So I just make sure that it's not all twisted, so that when someone goes to wear it, it's nice and intact for them. So far we have this bracelet, which I just love, and we have our necklace that we made with the silver silk. And you never want to see a stray bead. Oh, I know where it goes. It goes here. So I went ahead and was working on some necklaces as well and trying to figure out how I'm going to put them together. And I just wasn't feeling it when I had them all laid out, when I had all the beads all laid out. So it just comes together so much better when I can string them on one of these here and then take a look at it and bend it and see what it's gonna look like. All right, so I'm gonna put this chain off to the side, and I was gonna make a couple pairs of earrings. This one here, I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and decided, I had some extras left over from, I believe this was the March bead box. And so I thought, well, I will use up some of the chain reaction, the little links. And so then I pulled in some thinner jump rings, like what I used in the bracelet, because it's thin. The holes are very thin. I was going to use these ear wires and decided not to, so I'm going to go ahead and go with some of these, the hinged ear wires. And so what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and attach my chain reaction to my tassel. Go ahead and put my tassel here, and then attach my chain reaction. And I grabbed 20 gauge wire to make my loop, and I am not sure the 20 gauge will fit in there. Let's just take a peek and see if it does. It does. Okay, that'll be good. And I think what I'm just gonna make are just some simple loops. This one, I'm just gonna keep it simple. So not plain, just simple. I do love wire wrapping. All right, so let's go ahead and give these guys a little trim here. It's probably too much. And I got a blister on the inside of my hand today. It kind of hurts. I was putting together something for our uncle, and it did not, I was doing it without wearing a glove and shouldn't have. Should have worn my gloves, and I didn't, and so now I have a blister. So now we have this here. I'm gonna go ahead and open her up, put the chain reaction through there, make sure it's all nice and even. Yeah, so I was working on some other stuff today and trying to, you know, get some things checked off the list. All right, so now let's go ahead and tighten her up. And I do always use 2 just because I don't want to bend anything else. All right, so now we have that. Let's make sure it's nice and straight. All right. Oh, those are cute. And then we'll just come in, and I want my loop to go this way. And so I'm not doing a wire wrap, so I don't want to do that. But I am going to do a simple loop. So we're just going to bend it over. Sometimes I bend them over right in the beginning, sometimes not. Just depends on what I'm feeling, if I'm feeling it or not. So let's come in and give this a little turn, 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 turn. And there we go. And so I wanted it facing this way so that I could have my ear wire on there. And very cute. Go ahead and put the ear wire on and then get her closed up. Make sure there's no gap. It's kind of long. Maybe 1 in between. Maybe I'll just use 1 in between. That's kind of long. I don't know. We'll try. It just has too much separation between the 2. So maybe I'll just do 1 in between. Go ahead and give this one a little snip. Let's go ahead and take this one off. So sometimes you just change your mind as you're going along. So we'll use this one. We'll use this one for the other side. These little rascals. Just had to be sure, since it is kind of a tighter fit. There it goes. Let's go ahead and put this little guy on. These tassels are so beautiful. I love them. Okay, oh, much better. Isn't that much better? Okay, so I like it like that. So let's go ahead and put these back in the extra for another project. So let's go ahead and get this guy opened up. So we can put that on there. I do love this chain reaction. You can use it for so many things. So when I cut this off, now I have 2 rondelles ready to go on the chain reaction that I can use for another project that I have in mind already. All right, so there we go there. I might be able to use this. Let's see. And there. Let's get her opened up. Perfect. Make sure you can't get anything in there. I do the little fingernail test. Let's go here, and I need my loop to be a little, to be going the other opposite direction. And I do need to give it a little trim. I always just guess. I really don't know. I always hear the rule of thumb is about 1/4 of an inch. And I see it done so many different ways. All right. Let's make sure it's straight up. Beautiful. I think I did a better job that time. You know why? Because I wasn't really thinking about it. I was talking and doing it at the same time, so I didn't really think about it. I was just thinking about how, oh, you know what? I do this different ways. All right. Okay, so now we have this pair. That can go with any of our necklaces that we have so far. So now I want to do something with these. And let's go ahead and get these head pinned. And we'll do the same thing with just a simple loop. Make sure when you fold over, if you're using your pliers when folding over, don't squish too hard on the bead, because these glass beads, they will break or shatter. Believe me, I've done it in my jewelry making infancy here. All right, so we have a simple loop that's a little crooked. That's okay, because we'll just bring it. All right. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to add an additional jump ring. That is why I brought out these additional ones, just to give it a little bit more flexibility. I'm just thinking. So I just come up a little bit, and then as I start turning, I will kind of pull up a little bit, just so that I don't do anything to compromise the glass bead. And so that's not over too far, but all right. So let's go ahead and come on in here, and I just make sure that I can't see the tip of the wire. And is that straight? Looks pretty straight. All right, so I am going to use some jump rings to attach. And how I want to do this is so that the top, that's how I'm going to do it right there. So that my top, when I attach this here, I want it to be going this way. So I'm going to put it through here so that I can attach my ear wire. You really have to forward think on some of these, though things come apart and go back together easily too. So then what that does is now I can put another jump ring here, or I mean, I can technically put that there, which maybe I'll try. We'll try. I might have made these loops big enough, so we will see. All right, so I have here, so it will go right, oops, it'll go right through here. Yep, I think I might have made the loop big enough to where it'll move around and not, I don't want it to be stiff. I also want it to be in there nice and neat. That's nice. Oh, yeah, that moves around nicely. Okay. No additional jump ring needed. All right, so now I want to mirror that. So I need to make sure I do the same thing. All right. So I'm gonna go right here. Grab my ear wire. And get this tightened up nice and neatly. You can hear it click into place too, so then you know that you've got it nice and in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep on checking to make sure that I'm okay. So then I'm gonna open it up and pass it through that little area. And I feel like this loop is a little bit smaller. So let's go here, let that fall. There's the front. And there we go, right through here. Okie doke. And if you can't get your flat nose back in there, just grab another pair of chain nose, because I think I grabbed this just a little differently than last time. There we go. I did. So then go ahead and give it a nice little twist. Make sure you got it in there. I do not. I do like using my flat nose better. And see, I feel like this one is a little bit tighter. Oh, there we go, we got it in there. And it isn't, it works out nicely. So then here's another pair. And so these just open up in the back. They're just the hinged. So these are pretty. I like these. I love these cage beads. So here we have 2 pairs of earrings. Let's get these out of the way. You can see my mess. And as you see, I grab an extra head pin too. I just grab extra stuff, extra jump rings, so that just in case, you know, you open up a jump ring and you just don't feel like you opened it very well, or it's a little cattywampus. Then we have the bracelet that we made using the two-hole magnetic clasp. So we have that now, and then we also have our necklace. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna keep this chain here, but we'll see. So this is what we have so far. And then I have 3 more necklaces ready to go. Then we can jump into the Mediterranean vibes. And this one here, I'm gonna probably use some leather for that. So it looks like I'm gonna have another 3 necklaces. And then I put these aside too because of the color these little cylinder wood beads, because I think they're going to go really well with this ensemble. And then maybe use up these other wood beads that we have for that. So that will be the next step. So we have 3 more necklaces to make, probably another bracelet or necklace. And then I haven't even touched that beautiful bead strand. So I will cut this video off now. Come back when we have a few other, I'll just separate this out to where the next 3 necklaces that I make will make a different video so that it's not so long. You can watch a quick video and see. So what's coming up next, push these all off to the side. What is coming up next will be a necklace using these fun little oblong type wood beads cut on an angle with these really beautiful crystals. We're also going to make another necklace using this beautiful bead, and then I have this longer one here. And for these, I think I'm going to mix it up. I know that there's gold, but there is a sort of some copperish colors, and so this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the copper color, and this is the Metallics Soft Flex, and this is actually a 30-foot ball, so I have quite a bit of that in a medium with the 49 strand, and I'm going to go ahead and use those with some copper crimps here. And we'll use some copper crimps with those just to mix up the metals a little bit. All right, so that's what we have coming up next.